Why do some people say that old movies are bad? Have you ever met one of those people? I personally have. Someone who's like, yeah, I heard Citizen Kane's good, but how good can it really be? It's an old movie. Old movies are boring. Okay, they're lame. Why watch something from back then when I can watch something new, something modern with some good special effects, some actors I know, all that stuff. Those people do exist. I have met them. I personally am a big fan of older films. I just watched Alibaba and reviewed it on my other channel, a foreign film, an older film, and I absolutely loved it. I think what's important is to understand that not everyone is super into movies to the point where they're even interested in that. Sure, they watch some of the classics, right? I'm talking Citizen Kane, I'm talking maybe Casablanca, films like that. But then otherwise, they're just interested in the modern stuff. I would say if that's what you want to watch, the modern films, go crazy, knock yourself out. Opinions matter, they're important. But it's when people start critiquing and they're like, old movies are boring, old movies are lame, that's when I'm like, stop it. I think another thing that's important to talk about is that movies go through a cycle of evolution. The film business is a ever-growing and changing thing. You see that all of the time in the films that come out now, even compared to 10 and 20 years ago. You could even say, 5 years ago, superheroes, that genre was at its peak. Now, it's a little lower. If you look back at the early 2000s, before films like X-Men, Spider-Man came out, again, superhero genre, kind of goofy. People didn't really respect it. Comedy films now are a dying breed, it feels like. Anyone But You, No Hard Feelings, being these weird outliers, really the two sole comedy-based films of last year. So that's important to realize, is that films always change, as do the audiences. So when you look back at films from, the 50s, 60s, even further back to the 40s, those films are going to be different because they're not appealing to you, the audience. They're appealing to the audience that was around back then. People who, probably had better attention spans, who wanted different themes and different ideas represented in their films, different kind of dynamics, different things that were reflective of what was going on in their society. So if you're going to watch some old films, a lot of them are going to be a lot different. Even if the film is from the country that you're from, it might seem a little foreign because of, again, it was created for a whole different time period, a whole different audience. But I also think that's kind of what makes them special. If you look at these older films as time capsules from a certain point in history, we can learn a lot about what life was like back then. And I think that's a really cool thing about exploring foreign films, is that we can learn more about different cultures, again, across different timelines. Film is art and it reflects society. It teaches us about the audience that the film is made for. And if we use it as a tool like that, we can learn about audiences across all time in the world of cinema. It is a really cool tool. I think everyone should venture off and watch some older films, watch some stuff, like I said, 40s, 50s, 60s. You're gonna learn more about history. You're gonna learn more about, America, Japan, whatever country you're from, whatever country you're exploring that filmography. In fact, I'm gonna give some recommendations, films that I think do that, but also are entertaining. And like some older films are just boring. Follow my letterboxd right there. I think Citizen Kane is a classic. I think everyone should watch Citizen Kane. It's not the best film of all time. I mean, maybe it is. A lot of people hype it up too much, but it is a really good film. Orson Welles is great. Foreign films, I would go Seven Samurai. Everyone kind of knows this story now. It's Bug's Life, right? It's The Magnificent Seven. Still worth a watch, though. 12 Angry Men, dude. This film holds up so much. It is just a one room, guys yelling at each other. It is a kind of a courtroom drama kind of thing. A very dialogue-driven film, but damn, dude, it's dynamic. It's interesting as hell. It's gonna keep you invested. It's not that long either. This is a great one. My horror fans, I gotta go to Psycho. I think this one's also really good. This one, immediately when I watched it, I forgot when I watched it, like 6-7 years ago. Immediately, I was like, I get it. That's awesome. I'm gonna go Cool Hand Luke. Again, kind of similar to Magnificent Seven. Yeah, you've seen this a lot. It's very similar to, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, things like that. Kind of like the cool guy who joins the band of misfits, teaches them to rise up. We've seen it before, super influential, but I love it. Paul Newman's great. Oh, speaking of Paul Newman, Butch Cassidy, Sundance Kid. Duh, that one's awesome. Those are some films. If anyone checks them out, let me know. I'm really curious to see what you think of those films. And talk to me. Come back to this video, comment. I'll respond. I love responding. That's my video. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think of the old films in general. And, maybe the ones I recommended, Thanks so much for watching. New video every single day. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. Hit the button, please. I appreciate it.